today I'm going live with a short video all about hip and knee strength. It's aimed at beginners. You will need a chair, you might need a blanket, you might need a cushion. We're not going to do any work on the floor. So if you've got osteoarthritis of the knee or the hip, this would be a good place to start. Okay, I'm just going to check everything's running as it should be, and you can go and get the things you need. Okay, so here we go. Right, so I'm going to start off with a little warm-up. I'm going to hold on to the chair, and I'm just going to mobilise by bending the hips and the knees at the same time. So we're just doing this little shallow squat, like so. So here we are. This mobilises the knees and the hips. It's quite gentle. So we never want to work into extremes of pain with osteoarthritis. A little bit of discomfort is okay, but not a high pain level. So out of 10, if your pain levels are kind of 5 to 10, then you're probably going to want to ease off what you're doing. If your pain levels are 1 to 4 and they're manageable and you're not feeling pain for days afterwards, that's okay. Okay, so we're just going to have a little stretch of the calves. So we're just going to take the foot back like so, and then I'm going to take this heel back, press it down, and then just lean into the knee here. And as we bend the front knee, we're getting a stretch into the heel or the back of the calf. Good, and then switch sides. Good. And then we're just going to come into some knee raises, mobilising the hips. Good. And then we're just going to take a step out and come back. So kind of turning to the side, opening up the hip. Good. And then we're going to do it on the other side. So you can hold on. I don't need to hold on, so I'm okay. But if you need to hold on, you can move your chair. Last one. Good. Okay, and then we're just going to take the leg back. Good. Into a little bit of hip extension. And then the same on the other side. Not going back too far. Not overarching the back as we do it. And then we're just going to have a little stretch for the front of the hip. And I'm going to take the right leg back, come up onto my tiptoes, press the groin forward, tuck at the pelvis, and feel a stretch through the front of the hip there. And then going to do the same on the other side. So we're getting a little bit of stretch into the front of the hip. Lovely. And then we're just going to have a little circle of the hips. That's it. And then go round in the other direction. Good. Okay. So I'm going to start with a chair exercise. You can use a cushion. If the chair's a bit too low, you could use 2 cushions if that's still too low. We're going to come into a sit stand. So we're going to have our feet hip width apart, our knees tracking nice and straight over the toes, and then we're going to get up from the chair. Now, I would always recommend that you put your chair against a wall so that it can't slip, okay? So if you can do that safely, if you can sit on the chair safely without it slipping, yes, this is not a very secure chair or a very sturdy chair, but so I'd always recommend a sturdy chair and lean it against the wall. Okay, so feet hip width apart, and then we're going to try and get up, pressing through the feet, and then slowly coming down. So we maximise the muscles and the amount that they're working, rather, by going slowly on the way up and slowly on the way down. If that's really easy, you could take the cushions away. If that's still easy, you could practice staggering the leg. So think which is your weaker leg. The weaker leg would come closer to the chair so that when you get up, you're having to use that leg or that side a little bit more. Okay, and we're doing 10 repetitions of these. So you're going to pick your version. If that version was quite easy, you could do the kickstand version where you have one leg on your heel like so, so that you're using this other leg more. And that's that version. Good, okay. So we're doing about 10 reps of whichever version you're doing, whether it's this one a little bit higher up, whether it's a staggered version with the weaker leg closer to the chair, or whether it's one leg as a kickstand, in which case you would do 10 on each side. Okay, and then obviously we'll switch over and do the other side. So up and down, good. That's it. So you're using your bottom muscles to get up as well as your leg. So we're building some strength. Good. And you don't have to do 10. We're going to do 4 more. If this is your starting point and you can only do 5, then that's absolutely fine. Good. We've got 2 more of this one to do. And last one. And then sit back down. Okay, so that's your sit to stand. Okay, so we're going to hold on to the chair and we're going to come to the lower leg. So the knee is also supported by the calf, which inserts into the back of the knee. So we need our calf muscles to be strong because they help us walk. They assist the knee in walking. So we're going to hold on. Feet are going to be hip width apart and we're going to lift and slowly lower. Lift and slowly lower. Good. Lift and slowly lower. Good. I'm going to do 7 more. My dog's watching me through the door here, deciding if he's allowed to come in, which he's not. Good. Keep going. Up and slowly down. Good. I'm going to do 4 more. 3 more. 2 more. Lovely. And last one. So if that is easy, you could do the same exercise but on one leg, like so. Good. That's it. And you could do a set of 10 on each side. We're going to have a little calf stretch again, because that's quite tough on the calf. So just pressing the back foot down, feeling that stretch into the calf. Good. And then switching legs. Hold that stretch. Hold that stretch. Nice. And then we're going to come into a little bit of work for the hamstrings. So the hamstrings also run at the back of the leg and support the knee as well as the hip. So we're just going to come into our feet hip width apart stance, come into a neutral pelvis, and you're just going to lift and lower that leg. So this is really a mobility exercise for the knee to try and increase our range of movement, but you're also going to feel it a little bit in the back of the leg. So it's a beginner's exercise for the hamstring. Keep going. Good. 3 more. 2 more. And last one. And then we're going to switch legs. Keep the knees aligned so one's not poking forward. So the knees are next to each other, like so. Good. 3, 4. So you should feel this in the back of your leg. 5. And your foot might not get up as high as mine, but just do what you can. 3 more. 2 more. Last one. Good. Okay, we're going to do some work for the outer hip now. And if we strengthen the hip, it not only makes us more stable around the hip, but it also makes us more stable around the knee, because the hip helps to control the movement of the knee. So we're going to come into a neutral pelvic position. So we're not arching or tucking. We're somewhere in between those 2 points. And you're going to take one leg out to the side, slightly behind the other, and you're going to lead with the heel, and you're going to pulse that leg. We're going to do 15 reps, okay? So often I see people doing it like this, but you're going to try and get the foot straight so you can work more into the side of the hip rather than the thigh. Off we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then we're going to switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep it nice and slow. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So you should have really felt that on the outside of your hip. Okay, we're going to go back to our sit to stand now. So with or without the cushion, whatever, or blanket, whatever works for you. Feet hip width apart. If you want to stagger the legs, you can. I'm going to have the hands across the chest. We're going to lean forward, make sure the chair is secure against a wall, and then we're going to press ourselves up and then slowly come down, trying to keep the knees tracking straight. Think about pressing into the outside edges of the foot and make sure that you're keeping the toes down. Often I see that people are lifting up their toes as they come back down. Good. We've got 7 more, actually, sorry, 6 more, I think. Good. And 5 more. Keep the toes down. 4 more. Good. 3. Nice and slowly. 2. And last one. Pressing firmly into the feet. Nice work. Okay. Next exercise, we're going to repeat our heel raises. So feet hip width apart. We're going to lift up and slowly down. If you want to do it single leg, you can. You just do up to 10 on each side. Good. Slowly down. Keep pressing into the big toe joint as you come up. We've got 5 more. 4 more. 3. 2. Last one. Fantastic. Little stretch of the calves again, just holding that down for about 20 seconds. Good. See how long that is on my watch. That's it. Good, a little bit longer. And then switch sides, pressing the back heel down so that you feel the stretch. Holding it for 20 seconds on this side. Good. A little bit longer on this side. 5 seconds left. And release. Good stuff. Then we're going to come back into our hamstring exercise. Neutral pelvic position. Lift up the foot towards the bottom. 2, 3, 4. So this is mobility of the knee. 5, 6, and a little bit of work for the hamstrings, which support the knee and the hip. 2 more. Last one. And then switch sides. Keeping the knees level. 5 more. 2 more. Last one. Good. And then we're going to go abduction, legs out to the side again. So again, neutral pelvic position. We don't want to feel it in the back. We want to feel it in the hip. And then we're going to take that leg out to the side, leading with the heel, 15 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do what you can do. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Switch sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Ooh, I could sure feel that in my hips. So just have a little circle of the hips just to relax off the muscles, and then circle around in the other direction. Good stuff. And then just have a little stretch out of your back. So just come forward, stick your bum out, and then work your way back up. And then just have one more little stretch of the front of the thigh. So tuck and press forward. And then tuck and press forward on the other side. And your work is done.